What happens when crazy things start affecting a cursed play? Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, this is Someone Talks About Something. I'm someone, you're someone, we're all someone. And today the something we're going to be talking about is the TV show Goosebumps once again that ran from 1995 to 1998. And the episode for today's video is episode 7, Phantom of the Auditorium. So let's talk about it. Our episode begins with our main character, Brooke, who unfortunately is currently having a nightmare.
Darkness.
Next day at Drama Club, Brooke is looking at the cast list for the next play, The Phantom, and we see that she got casted as Esmeralda. And it's right here, if you pay attention, there's actually a slight mistake. So, if you look at the cast list, we see that Zeke Matthews is casted as the Phantom, Brooke Rogers is casted as Esmeralda, which are both correct, I will admit. However, if you look at who's casted as the father, it's someone named Patrick Doyle, which is not correct because, as we'll see in a minute, the actual character who's playing the father is named Corey Schuyler. Now, does this actually add anything to the episode? Absolutely not. I thought it was just kind of interesting to point out, so I just wanted to add here. Okay, back to the show. We then meet two characters. Corey, who I just mentioned, is playing the role of the father, and Tina, the understudy for Brooke. After talking for a little bit, we learn that Tina doesn't want the lead role because the play is cursed.
Drama Club was putting on the same play we are. The night of the play, the boy who was supposed to play the Phantom disappeared. They searched everywhere. His parents were freaking out.
Okay, one quick note here. If Tina truly believes that this play is cursed, then why would she audition for the role in the first place? But besides that, let's hear the rest of what she has to say.
They called the police, but they never found the body. A year later, when they tried to put on the play again, his ghost appeared on the stage.
While Tina is explaining about the cursed play, we realize that the nightmare that Brooke had at the start of the episode is about the Phantom's curse. And while she's having this revelation, something else happens. Don't worry though, this is just the lead of the play, Zeke Matthews, who plays the role of the Phantom. We also meet Miss Walker, who's the drama teacher in charge of the play. She then gives us a brief rundown of the play.
Phantom kidnaps you.
Then how come I stay in love with him?
Oh, because you're attracted to his mystery.
Or, because as film theory would point out, it's Stockholm Syndrome. Now, while Miss Walker continues to explain the play to the students, Corey discovers a trap door in the stage and starts to disappear until Miss Walker discovers what's happening and stops it. We learn that no one is supposed to use the trap door because it is unsafe and was built 72 years ago. And while they're wrapping up for the day, we see that someone is spying on them.
I asked you all to bring in a history of your characters, when they were born, how many...
After practice is over, all of them go to leave, but Zeke tries to convince Brooke to stay back so they can explore using the trapdoor. However, Brooke is a little worried because she also had a nightmare about the door yesterday, but Zeke convinces Brooke and she reluctantly agrees and joins him. Once they get to the bottom, Brooke turns into Velma, where she loses her glasses and cannot see a thing. After stumbling around for a bit, Zeke jumps out and scares Brooke, and we then learn where they're at.
We're not in the basement. We're way below the basement.
Okay, I'm sorry, but if they built this trapdoor for the first play 72 years ago, then why would they build it where it goes down that far? Since Brooke is really scared, they decided to go and leave, but while only Brooke is on the trapdoor, it starts to rise up.
The trapdoor! It's going up! Jump on! Come on! Gotcha!
Thanks, Brooke.
As they're heading up, the door suddenly stops right before the top, so Brooke gives Zeke a boost up, and Zeke gives Brooke a hand and gets her up. However...
Who are you?
Emil, the night janitor. What are you doing here? School's closed.
After Emil talks to them for a little bit more, he tells them to use the trapdoor as much as they want.
Stay away!
Sorry, stay away from the trapdoor. The next day, we meet a new student who just joined drama class.
Brooke Rogers.
Hi, Brian Coulson. I just moved here from up north. You're in the Phantom, right?
Yes, I play the tragic heroine. What do you think?
I think you're perfect.
However, we have to end this conversation a little early because Brooke forgot her script and needs to go and grab it.
Stay away from my home sweet home, Esmeralda.
Brooke then confronts Zeke, accusing him of putting the mask in her locker. However, he denies this and then walks off. And once he does that, Brooke has another flashback to the nightmare she had. It's now nighttime, and we're right now outside Brooke's house.
No!
No, what's wrong?
Not bad.
Oh, she's just practicing her script. She then thinks there's something in her closet.
Come on, Brooke.
Don't worry, it's just Zeke, and he came over to practice with her for a bit. But before that, we learn that all of the talk of the curse is starting to get to Brooke, and she is starting to freak out. They then start practicing. We're now back at school, and it's time for Brooke to rehearse her scene with Corey. And while Brooke is about ready to go and rehearse, Tina sneaks upstairs to go do something. They then start rehearsing, and while they're doing so, the lights go suddenly out, and the Phantom is up on the catwalk. The Phantom then jumps down and grabs Brooke, and then uses the trapdoor to escape. And while the Phantom is escaping, this happens. After the door falls, Zeke walks into the theater, raising suspicions of him to everyone, and they all start blaming him for attacking Brooke and making that door fall. However, he says it couldn't have been him because he was at the dentist appointment. Here he says that, Tina comes out of nowhere and says this.
This paint leaves a trail. Let's follow it. Maybe it'll prove who did it.
So they go and follow the paint, and it leads to Zeke's locker. They open up his locker and...
What? Zeke? It's not mine.
So they find paint in Zeke's locker, and because of that, Miss Walker kicks him out of the play and threatens if anything else happens, she will cancel the play. After walking away, Brooke, Zeke, and Brian are talking, and Zeke protests that it wasn't him, and maybe it was Tina, but Brooke doesn't believe him about that. As they're walking, they see the janitor and ask him if he can clean up the mess.
Big mess in the auditorium. Can you help us clean it up?
Gotta wait till morning.
Can't the night guy do it later?
Night guy? What night guy?
Emil, the night janitor.
Night janitor? There's no night janitor.
Dun dun dun! Later at night, Brooke, Zeke, and Brian are talking more about what they need to do, and they agree that the best thing to do is go down the trapdoor and find Emil. Once they get down, Brooke proposes the idea that Emil may be a ghost, and while they're arguing, the situation gets much worse for them.
What do we do?
Now what? We've got no choice. Come on.
Since the door is now raised, they decide they have no choice but to continue. They continue investigating, and they find a room where it appears someone has been living.
Somebody lives here.
And while they're looking around, this happens.
Listen to me.
The Phantom!
I told you to stay away. You should have listened to me.
Run for it!
Oh no, run! As they're running, they get back to where the trapdoor brings them to. But oh no, it looks like the Phantom got Brooke.
Emil!
Come on!
Go!
Luckily, Brooke is able to get away, and lucky again for them, they are found and rescued. And now the play is back on, and Zeke is apologized to and is given his part back. It's now the night of the play, and it looks like the show is going on just fine. However, it looks like Zeke is a little nervous, but hey, Zeke, don't worry. You're going to do amazing. Just breathe and do your best. You got this.
With this. And where are you?
Oh no. We then learn what happened to the Phantom.
For 1 hour before the curtain was to rise, I fell into the abyss, where I became a real phantom.
However, Brooke is not a huge fan of this play, so...
Never!
No! The play is now over, and Miss Walker is honestly just a little too excited, and it is now time for the curtain call, and that's the end of the episode. Well, not quite. It turns out Brooke found a yearbook from 72 years ago, and...
The Phantom to be performed this spring.
We knew it never was until now. And there's the boy who was supposed to play the Phantom in 1923. That's the boy who disappeared.
And that's the actual end of the episode. So it turns out Brian was actually the person who was going to play the Phantom when the school opened 72 years ago. He fell down the trapdoor right before the show and died. And now he has come back to perform as the Phantom on stage like he was meant to the first time. And that's the end of the episode. What did I think of the episode? I thought it was an amazing episode. I really liked the whole whodunit aspect. However, I felt like it was a little forcing Zeke to be that person who the audience would think was him. However, it could have all been disproven if Miss Walker would have checked if he actually had the dentist appointment when the Phantom attacked Brooke. But nonetheless, it was still a great episode. More importantly, remember, this is Someone Talks About Something. I'm someone, you're someone, we're all someone. Have an amazing day. And if you want some more content to watch, check out the videos on screen. Peace out.